What is up, guys? We are back at it again. My girlfriend just got home, so she weren't able to get me shoes, but she just got home, so that's why I took that brief intermission right there, and I just realized that I can, however, do 2 videos at once, I believe. So we're going to try to do that this time. If not, whatever. But anyhow, guys, we got the 2 bolts. Let's go ahead and dry the oil off of them right now, haven't we? Okay, guys. My phone's fixing to die. It's on 15%. LOL. Whatever. So there's that. She's ready. Okay. Oh, here's the other one. What the hell am I doing? I'm just gonna take our little shop rag and just kind of get the grease off of there. Back this nut off. That's all cleaned up. Alright, guys. Cool deal. Like I said, our needle jet is ready to go back on. So, clean that oil off of it. Shut up, cat. I don't like cats. Okay, guys, now the carburetor. Y'all can see how gunked up that is. Now, guys, before we start cleaning this carburetor, this is the one I just took off of the lawnmower. This was my spare. And y'all did in the other video, if you've seen this one, it was like 15-20 times worse than this. Please go check out that video. You'll understand what I'm saying. So here's the difference. This one is fucking clean. So we are actually going to use this carburetor. Possibly. It's still... Yeah, we're gonna use this carburetor. So what I'm going to do is get my get my gas can here. I'm gonna put some more gas in this and just kind of wash this off because it does still have a little bit of grease that I've gotten on it. And but we are not going to use the bowl that came off of this carburetor. So I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like. Okay, and we'll take this bowl off, and now we'll take the clean bowl. Well, that one was clean as best I could get that one. Yeah, guys, so much better. Give you one more look. I think y'all will agree with me. So yeah, we're not going to use this bowl. So this is going to be a spare bowl. I don't even need to keep this. This is really garbage, but I'm going to keep it for the plush valve. Now, there's no gasket on this carburetor. The gasket is right here. But I'm wanting to take the other gasket off of the other carburetor first. So I'm going to put this carburetor and this bowl because it is clean. All these parts that are in here have been cleaned. So all of this stuff is going to go back in here. Now, guys, here is the old carburetor. I am going to get this clean. Now, y'all are going to watch me do a build on this carburetor. And I want to show y'all another spare carburetor that I pulled off of a Troy-built push mower, which also as well could go. This one is going to have to be cleaned and rebuilt as well. Here's the bowl for this carburetor. There is no gasket. But that is the carburetor. Cut-off valve, which is very, very stiff. We'll have to clean that. We're just going to clean it up because I'm missing a few pieces. I might not be, but I don't know. But this carburetor is going to have to be cleaned off because it is always very handy to have them laying around. Believe it or not, guys. So, and also I wanted to give you a quick little update. Guys, I might have just found a way to go ahead and fix our little Poland. This is a idler spring off of this carburetor. Like I said, guys, this was my spare. This is the original. So I was using the original throttle cable and or throttle lever along with throttle or idler spring. So we're going to cut it right here, bend a hook in it, cut it right here, bend a hook in it, and use this as our idler spring on our Poland, and she'll be fixed. These are more common to find. Oh shit, I'm trying to get y'all to be able to see that. These right here are more common to find in a hardware store than idler springs for a push mower, believe it or not. So we're going to put this. Okay, I'm actually going to put this in there with the carburetor shit. And this little bent ass lever. It's all bent. I'm just going to throw it back in there. So, yeah, we're going to rebuild that carburetor as well. But first, we're going to see what we can't do about this. Okay, guys, so hell yeah, we're going to... only thing I don't like about this... Oh, we're not even using this one. What the fuck am I doing? I'm going to clean this out, but not right now. Now, we are going to do it this video, but, and let me show you all the difference real quick. Okay, y'all seen that? Here's the one that I cleaned. Okay, that is why we're using this carburetor. But, like I said, guys, I'm going to get some goddamn gasoline in there and wash this shit down completely with gasoline. Then we're going to put it back together. So, let's get started on that. I'm going to move the old carburetor. Let me get this shit kind of set up really quick. My towel for the carburetor parts, the new carburetor parts. Well, not really new, but improved. Okay, here are the old bolts, which I'm going to drop back in my bottle of motor oil. We don't need those anymore, guys. Alright, cool, guys. So, hell yes. Alrighty then. Here's the old, well, there's the carburetor we just pulled off, which it has this rubber gasket on there still. They just pop right off. 9 times out of 10, they don't break. And actually, unlike this one, if y'all look, this one didn't do that. This one was burnt on there. So I'm going to clean this one up and use this one. But I will have this as a spare. It really doesn't make a difference. It didn't rip completely in half. So this is actually going to be my spare. So I am going to put the spare back in here. But for now, guys, oh, here's our float that we're going to be using. So right now, guys, I am going to take the carburetor parts that we are not going to be using and stick them over here. We're not using that bowl. We are using this bowl. We aren't using this float. I'm not using this needle jet, plush valve washer, or plush valve. And I am not sure about the gasket. But I'm going to put the gasket over there anyhow because right quick, there's the carburetor. Here's the carburetor. Okay, this has got to be cleaned. There's the bowl. Here are the two bolts. And I'm going to show y'all real quick all the fucking parts that go on this bad boy. So don't y'all worry your pretty little faces about that. Y'all are gonna get to see it. Here's the carburetor, the bowl, the float, 2-pin nut washers, or bolts, exhaust manifold bolts, plush nut washer, plush nuts, floater shaft, needle valve, idler lever, I'm going to leave that on there for now. Okay, now we're going to get some gas in here. Let me go ahead and show y'all the, well, we're going to use this too, guys, but I got to clean it. I got to clean these parts over again, so let's go ahead and give y'all a check out of that. Here is all the parts for the carburetor, with the exception, let me throw this back over here. They got to be cleaned, but oh, for y'all that are actually wondering what the brand of this carburetor is, the Walbro. You can find these at JC Stock online. Walbro is kind of like a Briggs & Stratton. I mean, they obviously come on Briggs & Stratton and Tecumseh, but they're... Briggs & Stratton is a high manufactured engine. They're not built to last, they're built to replace. But they can be fixed, just like any other engine. So there you have it, guys. There's the parts. Now, don't let you forget, or don't let me forget, let me check my box over here, because I do have one more thing, which would be the intake hose. Or that's what I call it. Ah. Damn. I hope it's in this box. I thought it was, but it's not looking like it is. Well, anywho, oh, there it is. It's got to be in there then. Oh, let's check this shit out. We're going to figure it out, but I want to get these pieces in here. I can't find it in there, so it's got to be in here. I took it off of the mower, so I know it's around here somewhere. Don't worry your pretty little faces off. We're going to find it, guys. But here is the difference between these two right here. So we'll figure out which one we're going to use. This is the old one that I got from over here. No deal. It don't really matter. We got to make this fit back on for the breather, though. Hell, I was actually going to have you... Can you get that gas can out from there and take this out there somewhere and don't... Well, I mean, if there's not... Fill it up with gas. Okay, cool beans. Once I'm done with it, I'll have you reinstall it. Cool, guys, but this has got to go back on there. Why? Because the breather cover, the engine cover won't go back on without it. Come on, go down with it. Don't rip my whole damn tent down.
I didn't.
Okay, guys, so once she gets done with that fucking shit, we can go ahead and get the carburetor put back together. Actually, yeah, we're going to have to wait for that. Because, like I said, I got to wash the carburetor now. Hand me that gas. Thank you. Fucking hell yeah. Alright, guys. I'm going to show you what this looks like. I don't know if you can see that. Let's work with it. Alright. We're just cleaning all that gunk and fucking grease that I got in it out of there. I'll move it back. What are you doing?
Cat stuck on a wire.
Did you rip her fucking ear off?
No.
Oh no.
Just your call.
Alright guys, the carburetor is clean. She's ready to go back on there. We're going to set her down. I'm just going to run this bowl through here. Even though it's already been cleaned. Fucking idiot. I'll get them a picture. No, she's already off. So we got the carburetor in there. Now we're going to take the float. Now watch, this is what I'm showing y'all. Bridget, hold the camera over this float, over this bowl of gasoline. I wanted to show the people that don't know, this is how you tell if your float is any good or not. See, mine's just floating there. Obviously, can't float. It's just floating. Now we'll check the other one real quick. This is the one that came out of the other engine. Look. So they're both good. Now we can check the float that goes into the push mower. We'll go ahead and get. Well, it's got the needle valve in it still. Hold on, guys. Let me pull this. Well, it don't matter. Ready? So they're all three still good. That's why I still have them. These two aren't being used. We'll go ahead and rinse them off with gasoline. Alright, so this is good. Good to go back on there. Alright, cool. Thank you, Bridget. So, we're going to... I'm going to dip this in gas. Christ Jesus. I'm going to dip this in the gasoline, get it all cleaned up. Like I said, guys, we got extra parts. That's the exhaust manifold gasket that I told y'all about. Alright, cool. So let's get out of here. What are you want some gas on your face, you little hussy? Alright, cool, guys. So let's go ahead and get the carburetor reassembled. We're going to reassemble the carburetor itself, then put the manifolds back on there. So, let's get our carburetor, our float, our bowl, our needle jet, our floater shaft, and let's, well, shit. I just forgot again. I've got to get the other fucking, well, no, this one came off of here, so we're going to use that one. Let's get the, so guys, on here real quick, get her done. There's the gasket. We're going to put that on the bowl. Well, we're actually going to put it on the bowl, but let's go ahead and get this shit put back together. Cool. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Bridget, can you hold the camera over the carburetor while I reassemble it? Alright, guys, so we're going to take and the float, you gotta hold it over me. We're going to put the float back in place, but in order to do that, we've got to put our needle jet in place, and these are very... Alrighty then, so we got her in there. She didn't give us too much trouble. And then we're going to take the shaft, put it in the hole, Push it through. A pain in the ass. Okay, let me get where the fuck did them pliers? There they are, right there. We're gonna take this. We're just gonna. Now we're all the way in there. It's flush. Can you see that? It's flush on both sides. Now it's working properly. Now just in case we got any dirt, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do that right there. Now we're gonna take the gasket. We're going to take the gasket and we're going to set it right around this ring right here. We got to get the gasket on there. Sometimes they don't like to go on, but you still got to make sure you get it on there.
Still recording?
Huh?
Is it still recording?
Alright guys, check out how I got that gasket all the way around there. Now we're going to take, God damn it, I'm going to take our bowl. Okay, make sure it's right there. I've been doing this the whole time. You can set it back down.
Yeah.
I take pride in my work, guys. Okay, so now we're going to take our bowl and we're going to slide it right back on. Very simple process. We're going to hold it, and then we're going to take the flush valve and we're just going to put it back in there. Okay, and we're going to screw it right back on. Not like you screw your old lady, just like you're screwed in a screw. What was that? Anyhow, and now check it out, guys. Like I said, this carburetor is fully functional and ready to go back to work. Okay, now let's get the manifold cleaned out. I just use brake cleaner on both sides if I don't run out. We use this rag right here. Alright, let's get this back on the carburetor. Remember, guys, it goes like this. But in order to do that, hold on a second. Yep. You'll always know which side the gasket goes on. If you look at the side of the gasket, it's got indentions on it. That's a pattern, a compression release pattern, or an airflow pattern. Just make sure it lines up. Take the other bolt, put it back in the same way. We'll take our 10 millimeter, and we'll tighten it back up. Make sure your wrench is going the right way. Just snug it like 60 pounds. That's too much. Then you're gonna take your other one after we get it cleaned up. I'm gonna soak that bitch in gas. Take my oily rag, and I do use rags with oil on them to make them shine. Because the gasoline will make them look dark, or make it look like shit. Anyhow, there we go. That don't go there. Okay, now we're gonna put this. Now listen, the carburetor mounts to the end. Okay, this is your intake manifold. This is your, okay, you can't see that, but where this goes to is called your intake. You're gonna take this. This goes to your breather. And you just slide it back on there, and you take your two little bolts, or little nuts. And just screw them back down. Just exactly how you took it off. Okay, then we'll take this off. Put this back on there. Okay, I need you to put this gas in. Put that gas in there. Yeah, try not to spill it. Take our 11 millimeter socket and wrench and just tighten it down 2 turns, you know, whenever you get it snug. Or once it's snug, you'll go 1.5 rotation, or just boom, just like that, and then crank it a half turn. And there it is. It's reassembled, and we're going to put it back on the mower. Okay. We'll just stick this. Oh, my bad. We'll just stick this in here. This will slide back up in there, but this one is what's going to be a bitch. Well, maybe not. Nope, just slide it in there. Come back, take idler spring, push it in there. Oh, by the way, Bridget, we found a new idler spring for the pulling.
Awesome.
That is fucking great news. Okay.